I believe. So you guys have to actually like express, I think your site observation or whatever the characteristic of the site is in the form of abstract art. So I think for this, like I kind of like invite a friend of mine, Jowin, to actually share his side of the work, of his mindset in like approaching this kind of assignments, right? So yeah, so hi Jowin. Thank you very much for coming today to share your work.
Yeah.
So a bit of an introduction. I mean, I will introduce you a bit. So Jowin is actually alumni student from Taylor's University, am I right? And from Bartlett School of Architecture, UCL. You were graduated from there, and you also are alumni of Interactive Architecture Lab and Harvard Project for ASEAN and International Relation and Organizing Committee. So there's like a lot of things from the side, right? So yeah, I think right now you're an independent researcher, writer, architectural design based in London, KL, right? So I think I think I remember you doing something about the one you got a kind of grant for it.
Yeah. I mean, my team got like two fundings. One is from government and one is from private sector. One Chindana and also yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, a lot of things you've done before. So yeah, it's like kind of nice and honor to have you here, also lah. So yeah, you're gonna be sharing us with the topic of translation and extension to all of us today, right? That's the topic, right? I think you kind of like amended over there.
Yeah. I mean, like I will briefly derive from because it was a rush. I think I then also like didn't want to push having to change much stuff. So I mean, I will continue further from that one, narrow it down a bit because it's a bit broad. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So yeah, before we pass it to you, I'm just gonna let everyone know, like, if you guys have any questions, feel free to just ask in the chat box, like along the way of when Joey is sharing his presentation. So yeah, without further ado, Joey, I think the floor is yours to share your work. Yeah.
Okay. Hi everyone. Like let me share the screen first. Sorry. Yeah. So can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Check. Okay. Good. So I think Edwin has introduced me a little bit very well, but today the topic that a general topic that we'll be discussing is about translation and extensions, which is a kind of narrow down summary of the expression in architecture. But today we are not going to talk. We're not going to show a lot of like my works, but I can show you my works after that. But we will be talking about like the fundamentals of the way of seeing. I mean, because like it's important for us to know the way how we see and the way how it produce to convey a message, in a sense. So, I mean, I'll briefly just introduce myself. Like I'm Jowin, and I'm representative of Just for Known Architecture, which is an independent think tank and a spatial research agency. Basically, I graduated from the Bartlett School of Architecture last year. And I was in a research cluster that we do a lot of neuroscience and spatial research. And also, like I was not trained only by architects, but various different disciplines such as computer science and neuroscientists and psychologists as well. And in my masters, I deal a lot with tech ideas and cybernetics ideas, which do a lot of things about the way we use our tech today in relation to architecture, and also the surveillance economy as general as a whole. And also like my aspirations, I wish to be in a policy making in the future, because I think it's a very important thing that Malaysia need now, like having a proper leadership in policy making, in spatial advancement and spatial studies. And let me move on a bit more. Like there are some initiatives I'm running right now with my friends. Like I think they are all here, like Hazik, Gary, and I can't name them all, but they're all here. And so CoCode is basically I'm co-founded CoCode as kind of like interaction design and spatial design research group that with my all colleagues from Bartlett. And we also we received like 2 grants, one from Chindana and one from Kisanjit, to experiment our stuff further. Yeah, but it will be released around spring if there's no lockdown. Spring and summer, there's two the whole year. And Batcha is like our reading club, and we do fortnightly reading with everyone. I think I've been joined some of the time. We read all kinds of materials on architecture because we see architecture sort of things that embody a lot of things, a more perspective. And then like PVP is like another um, practice, teaching practice that we've been formulating with Carissa, a lecturer from MIA, and also researcher in UM as well. And JFX is just one architecture, is my independent ones. And also UMA is kind of a group that we gathers everyone from all the regions, like all the continents, to some network together on Facebook and Telegram right now. And UMO has been here for some time, but haven't been quite active recently. And Lana is our like it's a thing that formulated from Discord group, like as a zine that we trying to advocate, like collecting voices from the young students and everyone who practices architecture who have an opinion on it. So we be the vessel to sort of disseminate the ideas out of it. So let's move on. So I mean, I will just show like one of my work here. Like so this is my work. Like I've been doing a lot of explanations on visuals, but visuals is just a fun form of art form, right? And normally I use visuals and also metaphorical images to represent a kind of situations that's happening in our society. Not really architectural, but using architecture as a kind of mediation to talk about most likely every aspect of the general thing. And this I mean I wrote the year wrong. This was 2018. Sorry, I wasn't that good. 2008. Yeah, and so let me move forward. Like, what is art basically? So before I move on, right, I just want to apologize if I have any misunderstanding on art. I mean, to all my art educated friends who are watching, because like I'm not educated in art background, but it's just based on my clairvoyance on art. So basically, art basically for me is about like the extension of your body, because art is a more expression of the body, and then there's a tendency for you to craft something to communicate with the others. So if you look at the diagram itself, like art being your consciousness. I mean, I just bring up the consciousness. I mean, to extend like what Hua Lim said last lecture. He was talking about consciousness every time, and then I mean I just like link it to here, like consciousness and body, like the mind itself, and then the way you see the world. And then because like everyone live in different conditions, different planet, I would say different conditions equal to different planet, meaning me and you are different people. We are live in different planet, right? Starting from people like Bruno Latour. So um, so basically like art is a practice, art is manifestations on like you have a tendency to express the world surround you to the other people to understand what are you seeing, and also like try to bring them into the world as well. So we move forward. So a rough diagram. So as I said, us has a real reality surround us. Believe in the reality, but it doesn't mean we all share the same reality, right? So me and Admin share different reality. I'm a graduate, he's still in the school, and then I am out, I'm independent, and then she's still in a school within a system, right? So we all share different reality. And then like for me to translate my reality to him is always by craft or by a kind of message that we need to craft it out or make it out. Like so as our body, we are living being, and then the only thing we can do is always crafting extensions out of our body, experimenting it, whether they get it or not, or just a provocation to the society. So us always go to this extension as a mid ground to convey a message to them. So we sort of bring our planet to them, like us sending a message to aliens outer space, right? And and oops, yeah. And art is not just visual or anything we see every day. It's not just sculpture, art, not just visual. I mean, it's not about that. But art is like a spectrum of practice, a spectrum of experimentations, a spectrum of expressions. So art So if you zoom into the art extension, the spectrum of it, art can be many of the things that we do every day to try to experiment a kind of communications through the artwork itself. So we look at Rebecca Horn. I mean, the art that she produced is not really architecture, but she used spatial as a tool, an extension of body to experience space in 1972. And Laszlo Holy-Nagy in the 1930s, the Bauhaus, experimented this machine idea on how this feedback system could integrate itself. It's how to communicate, and then this artwork you try to communicate with the people, the surrounding. Say, oh, like we are trying to formulate a kind of intelligent system that we could can dance. And Golden Pass, like another one, Simon Eticians, a good friend with Cedric Price, using a kind of other medium to sort of test art. But art itself is a medium, as we know, like art is a practice, a craft to sort of generate meaning, right? And he used machine to understand, he used all this art to performance art to understand how machine will perform to each other. And also we go to Annie Albers in 1926, textile as a form of art, and it's sort of a craft to say all kinds of situations happen at the time. And then we go even further to architecture itself. So architecture would say it's a final it can be in a gray area. I mean, the Richard Serra doesn't say it is an art, but to me, I think it's almost like embodiment of all arts. It's a mid ground. So Michael Gray expressed his sort of sign on the building from the postmodern era, you know, and all the things that I've listed above here, all these are art, practice, or craft. So, so moving forward, like okay. All right. Commercial break, right? Yeah. So some horror show. So like us, I go back to this diagram, like sort of highlighted. So right now, like us, the birth reality. So we have a surrounding and then we're trying to communicate with them. The them is non-highlighted, but we'll go through the translation process. The translation process is a kind of encode, crafting a worldview, right? But through an object or through anything or any form of medium. And I think like for me, art is always about the medium. I mean, my point of view is subjective as well. And I could even reference on like Marshall McLuhan's medium is the message, you know, like, yeah, because the medium carries, embodies the message they want to say. So, and we say about illustrating like architecture through art, I think it is a quite a deceptive mindset. You're almost just putting a layer on icing on architecture, but it's not really communicating the purpose of it. So us like crafting worldview is almost like encoding all these details in the way we see things into one thing or many things. So in crafting a worldview, in this midpoint is called art. Like there's embodied culture, history, events, material norm, convention, practice, ecosystem, beliefs. All these embodied in one is either visual art or any kinds of media that we can decipher it, we can decode it when it delivered to us. So if you look at, I mean, movie is a kind of art form as well, like films. Depends what kind of films I'm watching, like pop films or any independent films. So this film is by John Carpenter in 1988. It's called Delif. Do you see this as kind of art? For me, it is a kind of art because it's exaggerating the sort of capitalistic and those like all these conformist ideas during that time after the neoliberal movement was struck out, meaning we become ever more consumerist. And this movie is about how all these aliens conquer our world. Then we have to see the world through another lens. So what I want to say is like art is almost like you're making another lens for the people to see the world itself. So moving forward, like even Jean Berger said in 1972, I mean, he written a book as well as a 4-part documentary in BBC. So like art itself carries symbolic meanings, conventions that we transcend through centuries, you know, like conventions. So in this cutscene that I screenshot, It's more about like he was talking about the idea of naked and nude. It's different idea of naked and nude. Being naked is a personal expression of being nude, but being nude is a sort of object-based describe. It's almost describing an object. So this is where gender and sexuality are being communicated through this painting itself, and how we depict it. So in a modern society, we see and this painting is more like objectification of a female body, you know, like an objectification of female expression itself. And the lady at the corner, right, she's actually disgusted by the fact that how people actually painted women in the past, and then how it actually sort of like make us the whole general movement to behave a bit subservient or a bit having this another form of constraint that being dictated by man's society. So, so art itself is not only just seeing, but it's just practicing. It just influences the way you practice anything, right? And moving forward, like a little license in 2018. So what I said before is almost crafting a real view, bringing a reality to us, art, right? So in 2018, Alpha is Scandinavian is ice uh yeah Scandinavian and artists which I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, like I forgot the regional name. Like so she created an ice watch. Basically, in 2018, there was this movement about Extinction Rebellion. It was about climate change. It was a global movement. And he created this ice watch. It's sort of a stage performance art by the object itself, where the ice gonna melt on its own in a period of like a week or a few days to sort of illustrate the conditions that we're living right now in the world. But it's just using art practice as a medium to bring it to us nearer so that we can feel the sort of reality and deliver the message to us. So moving forward, and OMA, I mean, if you guys want more something about architecture, we can look into OMA or Super Studio practice. So, I mean, we shouldn't see this as sort of form of a typical architecture drawing, but the skill of the drawing itself and the skill of the city and its architecture is kind of convey the radicalness of the ideas of it. It's about how architecture is consuming the city itself and how we are becoming sort of involuntary prisoners that actually submit ourselves to it. So art using as a medium express the sort of expressiveness of the message we'll convey. Not very much about how you're going to build it, but it's to convey someone to believe in the belief that you have, and also a strike to your mind about something is happening. Next, and maps is another form of practice as well. But I would further elaborate later on why maps. So Guy Debord in Paris in 1957 during situationist movement, he wrote a book called Derive, and also this was the guide that he drawn as a form of counter the sort of system that the institutional system that he has through spatial mapping. You know, and through this, we see his ideas on like how blockage of the institution, how they block, how like a public access or the public space are so not well connected with each other or being blocked by sort of institutionalizations and etc. You know, so so and Oscar Schindler in 1926 depicted a gesture dance movement diagram. I mean, a diagram that trying to illustrate the movements of the body. So do you see it as kind of art? You know, like, but me, I see it as kind of art because it deliver a kind of message to us as well. It's embody a kind of beliefs that like we should document everything. And if you look at one of the final diagram I show like us as well reality, I mean, we try hard to deliver a message to them. The them is like either is future or now, or even like we are trying to use the past to deliver to them. And for us, architecture has been in architecture studies has been always a very lucky ones, because we are kind of like the embodiments of I don't say architecture absolute art, but architecture can be an embodiment of arts, because architecture comes from art itself, like come from arts, the history of arts, like how artisan and craftsmen come together and formulate a kind of combination together to form the building itself. And building as a three-dimensional space is the most public among all arts that we can experience art in all dimensions. And through architecture itself, we can also understand um, through architecture itself, through drawing architecture itself, using architecture as a backdrop, we understand it allows us to understand the society. It's more easier. Not hard, but easier. And also understanding the system that's running society as well through the looks of the build itself. Likewise, the Nazi and the communist China in the past, the way they built the environment is depicted a lot from the art, and also it influences how people see the city itself. Yep. So before I ended the body, it's more extensions to us, like extension like our mouth, view a speech, and extension of eye, seeing the world far apart. With now with the modern media right now, we see art from multiple places telling us a different story, like meme. So seeing art as a map of the society, art itself is a very precious artifact that we can use as a map to view the past and the future, and also understanding as individual psyche on the way to think about as the whole society and the humanity itself. Yeah. So if you want more information, like join us. Like we share a lot of resources on UMA, and also the Discord group that we share. But this is the link, and then and also the Telegram. You can join us, and also we are also running Alana Zine to sort of practice a form of expressions if we have. Yeah. So this is like a very general practice that we can do to interpret art as well, rituals, So like for us, and then if you have any ideas, submit to us. And also, I mean, uh, other than that, like there are these polls that are coming soon. So I hope you guys will catch it out as well. And this is the end of my lecture basically. But I can show you my work a little bit, but that's not the point. So can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So we still have time. It's good. We can even do a workshop together here. Actually, I have something prepared. Yeah. Maybe you guys want to do it. Like a quick ones. So basically, like we can do a quick drawing now. So anyone up to it and fine, but anyone not up to it is okay. So basically, the way of seeing text is also the way you interpret art. Like so. For instance, let's say like let's derive cities and desire one of the chapter from Italo Calvino's Invisible City. Through anything that you have right now, you can sketch it out on your sketchbook, and then maybe present it later to us. So there are two ways of describing the city of Dorothy. You can say that 4 aluminum towers rise from its walls, flanking 7 gates with spring-operated drawbridge that span the moat, whose mortars feed 4 green canals which cross the 100 chimneys, and bearing in mind that the neighbor girls of each quarter marry youths of the other quarters, and their parents exchange the goods that each family holds in monopoly, bergamot, sturgeon roll, astrolabes, amethyst. You can then work from these facts until you learn everything you wish about the city in the past, present, and future. Or else you can say, like the camel driver who took me there, I arrived there in my first youth. One morning, many people were hurrying along the streets towards the market. The woman had fine tea and looked you straight in the eye. Three soldiers on the platform played the trumpet, and all around view turned and colored banners. Started in a wind. Before then, I had known only the desert and the caravan roads. In the years that followed, my eyes returned to contemplate the desert expanses and the caravan roads, but now I know the path. This path is only one of the many that opened before me on the morning in Dorothea. So okay, let's spend like 5 or 10 minutes just do a quick sketch on this thing. I mean, everyone, if you anyone that is up for it, yeah,
Yeah, I think for the diploma students, you guys can try like this exercise
yeah.
just to
Let's
test
try.
out your
Yeah,
expression of
there is no right or wrong, but
yeah.
we will demonstrate. We will just I mean like I think everyone should try it, just illustrate it, and then like I mean in between the 5 to 10 minutes, then we can continue about session and then end it. You know, I will show you screen so everyone would sort of draw something like just anything like based on the words I present to you and then the way you express it. Yeah.
Even lecturers can join. Come.
Yeah, like even lecturers can join, like,
Come.
for let's join, like, I mean, join.
I'm reading the text right now. Like, ooh, there's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Jowin, can you make the text bigger?
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
All right. Can you see it?
Weird request, but can you keep on reading it? Like
Oh.
rereading the whole paragraph?
This is one paragraph. Basically, this is one of the stories.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
Just could you please reread the paragraph until like
reread, right? You mean reread it, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so
thank you so much.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So there are two ways of describing the city of Dorothea. You can say that 4 aluminium towers rise from its walls, flanking 7 gates with spring-operated drawbridges that span the moat, whose water feeds 4 green canals which cross the city, dividing it into 9 quarters, each with 300 houses and 700 chimneys, and bearing in mind that the neighbor girls of each quarter marry youths of the other quarters, and their parents exchange the goods that each family holds in monopoly, bergamot, sturgeon roll, astrolabes, amethyst, and you can then work from these facts until you learn everything you wish about the city in the past, present, and future. Or else you can say, like the camel driver who took me there, I arrived here in my first youth. One morning, many people were hurrying along the streets towards the market. The woman had fine tea and looked you straight in the eye. 3 soldiers on the platform played the trumpet, and all around views, turned and colored banners fluttered in the wind. Before then, I had known only the desert and the caravan roads. In the years that followed, my eyes returned to contemplate the desert expanse and the caravan routes, but now I know this path is only one of the many that opened before me on that morning in. You want me to repeat again?
As many times as you would like.
Okay, sure. I hope you guys are really doing it seriously. Yeah. And because this was one of my practice when I was like in my studies. Hold on. Okay. There are 2 ways of describing the city of Dorothea. You can say the 4 aluminium tower rise from its walls flanking 7 gates with spring-operated drawbridges that span the moat, whose water feeds 4 green canals which cross the city, dividing it into 9 quarters, each with 300 houses and 700 chimneys. And bearing in mind that the new burghers of each quarter marry use of the other quarters and their parents exchange the goods that each family holds in monopoly, bergamot, sturgeon roll, astrolabes, and matisse. You can then work from these facts until you learn everything you wish about the city, in the past, present, and future. Or else you can say, the camel driver who took me there arrived here in my first youth. One morning, many people were hurrying along the streets towards the market. The woman had fine tea and looked you in the straight eye. 3 soldiers on the platform played the trumpet, and all around wheels turned and colored banners fluttered in the wind. Before that, I had known only the desert and the caravan roads. In the years that I followed, my eyes returned to contemplate the desert expanses and the caravan routes. But now I know this path is only one of the many that opened before me on the morning in Dorothea. I guess we have another, how many minutes more? Like about 7 minutes, I think. Yeah.
Jowin,
Yes.
there's a suggestion that people could
Oh, sorry, I
share.
haven't seen the chat box.
It's okay.
Yeah, maybe I'll just read it now since when you guys doing zoom
Oh,
in
no,
a bit.
not that one.
Oh,
Says that you
like
share an
oh.
empty screen
Oh
or whiteboard
yeah.
so
How
people
come
can
I haven't
scribble.
think about it? Sorry.
it's okay.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
I think you can put like a board, mirror board, is it, or anything. Then we can just like give us a link. Then we can just like put our stuff inside.
oh yeah, sure. Like Carissa, can you send the Figma about that?
Figma?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you guys enjoy it on my page, lah. If you want now. I don't know, man.
Sorry, are we done with the reading?
Yes. Are you
Alright.
guys?
We were trying to find a place to put our
upload this,
drawings.
is it? All right, cool.
Yeah, so I'm like,
Yeah, well, Carissa gonna share you a link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is such an interesting exercise. Thank you.
I mean, it's fun actually when because oral exercise is very interesting because if you do psychoanalysis, a lot of things you need to do is interviews, and then how to interpret it is something that is much more meaningful. And also, like, later I will sort of debrief a little bit when everyone has shown the drawings in one place. Yeah.
yeah, I hope the rest of the diploma student won't be too scared of sharing your work.
Yeah, no. The thing is,
don't be too
it's not about aesthetic. It's never about aesthetic. It's about expression. You know, like how do you interpret it in a pictorial form or any other ways. Like you can even reinterpret it in word form as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's like so like everyone here, I hope like all you guys like, try out lah. I mean, so you guys can actually get an idea of how you're going to do, especially later when you're going to do it for your actual assignment later.
Yeah.
So like even what I did just now is I just like I really just scribbled some. I don't know why I just scribbled, but yeah, I just did something.
Oh yeah. Okay, everyone, let's move to Kurisa's Figma board. It's a share board. Yeah.
That works. I don't.
I think it should work. Yeah. Wow, so many people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You can put your pictures of your drawings there, or you can just draw on the page.
A lot of hands, but yeah. Okay.
Can you guys edit? Let me know, yeah?
I think you need to make it editable. Don't think that I can edit now.
Does it? Okay, wait, yeah.
Or do we have to sign up to edit?
No. Basically,
No.
there's to yeah.
Okay. Oh, they say like you have to create an account to edit or collaborate on this file. Is that
Okay.
No, I'm adjusting the settings now, one by one. Give me a moment.
Alright. Okay, no problem.
Sorry, guys. There's a lot of you.
It's fine. Sorry. I mean, like, it's a good idea. I haven't thought of this now. I mean, I just really briefly.
That's okay. You had a long day also today.
Yellow.
So yeah.
I
Okay.
think it works.
Yeah.
You guys try?
Try again, guys. I mean, you can just copy the drawing up there as well. Just copy it. Oh yeah, everyone is drawing. Yeah, this is so nice.
Wait, thank you, yeah?
Yay.
So I think like for those who never use Figma before, I like
Yeah.
kind of feel like it's kind of interesting workflow over here. I mean like it's like more fluid than Miro. Because that day I see you and Clarissa was actually doing mapping using Figma, like directly on Figma. Is like kind of interesting. So I guess like everyone's just kind of like scribbling something.
The platform is usually used for people making applications, UX, UI design, and websites.
So are we doing collaborative work or something?
Jowin?
I mean, it should be everyone draw his own stuff, but in one spot, and then let's see how it goes.
Yeah, I guess you guys can actually like create your own space, like a rectangle, and then like just put your name over there, and try to draw like what Joey has actually reps, no?
Yeah, like for instance, yeah, like here, like, and then here.
Are you able to upload pictures?
You can copy it and then drop it in.
Like oh shit, that's
yeah, someone is in there.
That's like mine.
Yeah, it's still like yeah.
So
do you guys want to look at the text or yeah?
I'm still getting used to this because I'm not sure how to use this.
It's like Illustrator, same principles.
Okay. Yep. So yeah, I guess you guys can do something like that. And if you guys want to draw directly on the Figma, so you can straight use their pen tool and stuff to draw. Maybe we can just talk about it later.
So yep. I mean, I can read it one more time. Last time.
Yes, please.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, there are two ways of describing the city of Dorothea. You can say that 4 aluminium towers rise from its walls, flanking 7 gates with spring-operated drawbridges that span the moat, whose water feeds 4 green canals which cross the city, dividing it into 9 quarters, each with 300 houses and 700 chimneys. And bearing in mind that the new burghers of each quarter marry youths of other quarters and their parents exchange the goods that each family holds in Monopoly, Bergamot, Sturgeon Roll, Astrolabes, Amethyst. You can then work from these facts until you learn everything you wish about the city, in the past, present, and future. Or else you can say, like the camel driver who took me there, I arrived here in my first youth. One morning, many people were hurrying along the streets towards the market. The woman had fine teeth and looked you straight in the eye. 3 soldiers on the platform played the trumpet, and all around views turned and colored banners fluttered in the wind. Before then, I had known only the desert and the caravan routes. In the years that followed, my eyes returned to contemplate the desert expanses and the caravan routes. But now I know this path is only one of the many that opened before me on the morning in Dorothea. Okay. Oh wow.
There's so many interesting things going on.
Look at that. Yeah.
There's been another drawing below there. Don't so shy, put it on top.
No, no.
Yeah, read one last time.
No.
Yeah.
Put it there.
There are
Very
2
fun.
ways of describing the city of Dorothea. You can say that 4 aluminium towers rise from its wall, flanking 7 gates with spring-operated drawbridges that span the moat, whose water feeds 4 green canals which cross the city, dividing it into 9 quarters, each with 300 houses and 700 chimneys, and bearing in mind that the new burghers of each quarter marry youths of other quarters, and their parents exchange the goods that each family holds in Monopoly, Bergamot, Sturgeon Roll, Astrolabes, Amethyst, and you can then work from these facts until you learn everything you wish about the city, in the past, present, and future. Or else you can say, like the camel driver who took me there, I arrived here in my first youth. One morning, many people were hurrying along the streets towards the market. The woman had fine teeth and looked you straight in the eye. 3 soldiers on the platform played the trumpet, and all around views turned and colored banners fluttered in the wind. Before then, I had known only the desert and the caravan routes. In the years that followed, my eyes returned to contemplate the desert expanses and the caravan routes. But now I know this path is only one of the many that opened before me on that morning in Dorothea. All right, cool.
There's the wow, there's like so many things going on.
Oh,
So many big art pieces as well.
yeah. Only it's good. I mean, yeah, look at that.
I think you guys could like put like a frame on your drawing so it's like easier to define who's one is whose.
Yeah,
There's so many things going on. Yeah, but then it's also kind of interesting to see how it overlaps together, you know.
yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah,
interesting.
exactly.
Small.
Oh, that's too bad.
Now you get the city, especially with the idea that there's conflicting views of like there's
Yeah.
2 ways to describe it.
Yeah. Wow, come on. You are
Wow.
a big learner. Yeah. I mean, like another thing that we can call this a piece like combined drawing is kind of like a exquisite corpse, you know. Exquisite corpse is like you have a different artwork or different people come together and draw a piece of drawing. So for instance, I can draw a circle and then I pass it to Edwin. So you continue drawing other things on it without an aim, without a goal, and then we draw it. Yeah. Oh wow.
Wow, this sounds so interesting though. Someone did an axiometric of
Wow, someone already
expression.
did like okay.
I don't know how they do it so fast, but I'm so impressed as well.
Yeah.
I wonder who was this.
Okay, let's end it in, maybe let me see how much time do we have, because I have another session later. Oh
Whoa.
wow.
Yeah, it's 8:50 already though.
Okay, let's end it at 8:55. Okay. Yeah. So 85, I'm gonna ask some of you to present your ideas. Not to present, but just to, like just briefly talk about.
So interesting.
Imagine like designing a city is almost like gaming, how fun it is. Yeah.
World building.
Yeah. It is, but yeah, we need more game engines.
Oh,
Yeah.
I really do need a lot of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I used to like do world building using the Warcraft engine.
Like,
The Warcraft 3 World Edit.
Warcraft, yeah, Warcraft.
Yeah, that was like a very old tool. But I remember like we like there's a community for it. There's so much models out there. So we just like
Yeah.
how we did, right? I think there's like a few terrain
Yeah.
makers in that community, and wow, they can actually build very very beautiful place in using that Warcraft 3 engine. So I think for those who have played Warcraft 3, right, you guys will know like the graphics are very like very basic and kind of things like that. But some people can actually like create very cinematic kind of maps in Warcraft 3 using the map. So they kind of like create a lot of use a lot of models and just like put in different size and just like arrange it up and down, give it that. So it's like a very slow process of SketchUp.
I mean, it's nice that like you highlight that Warcraft, like all these like sort of world building like country size, like you learn all the system. You need to sustain the whole city, right? Not you might mistaken.
But it's a very slow process, but it's a very fun process as well.
Yeah, but it's very fast to die as well. I played Theme Park, another world building. That is super hard. Theme Park, the theme park game.
I think I know that one.
In a theme park, you have to build a theme park from scratch, and then you have to maintain ecosystem.
Right.
That is where and then you understand that it's very hard to actually manage it at one person point of view. Yeah.
But yeah, I do agree that we need more like interactive kind of software, building softwares,
Yeah.
rather than just like very technical. I mean, there's technicality should come later, right?
Oh yeah. 3 minutes more. Wow, Gary drawing his advertisement, isn't it? Yeah.
This is advertisement.
XYZ, you see the XYZ there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So guys, like so Gary and Amos here, like they all runs a podcast like XYZ podcast, Project XYZ. You can check them out. I mean, like I need to find that link. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, I can find it also.
Yeah. So basically, they run these interview sessions with people. I mean, architects and new artists, and other people as well that express a different interest in architecture and spatial design. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Amos already shared it.
Yeah, and they are really, really open about taking everyone questions and also asking interesting opinions for everyone. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so time's up.
I see. There's so many interesting things going on.
So 8:55 now. So okay, let's look like the whole landscape of the drawing. You see, I mean, I imagine that like there's a few people are drawing. There's like wow, there is like there's a few. I think like more than 10, probably. So if you see, right, like the way everyone interpret the whole reading is very, very different. Like the way we see things, even the way we listen to a kind of text, right? Like what we did was just like we probably listen to text. How do you perceive the text itself into a more spatial or in the more pictorial point of view? So it's just like you are creating your own map to understand it, or even using this map to tell like your friend that, oh, actually this story is talking about this thing, from my point of view, So basically, everyone has different way of seeing the story. So I think we can start with maybe Edwin. You want to share your sketch a little bit? Don't need to be too serious. It's just about
Oh,
how do you see it? Like when we're actually reading the thing.
no, mine's just very direct lah. It's like where I'm just like sketching as I'm reading whatever that's like the most prominent one that's actually come out easily.
Yeah.
So like at the back there you can see like the four aluminum tower that's actually like
Yeah.
I went into this thing, how I would go into like how I would approach just coming into the world or coming into a new city. You only see the simple stuff. You cannot really focus on one initial idea.
Okay.
So I wanted to distinguish that there were different realities of how the city could be perceived, the physical and then the emotional sense.
Yeah.
There's the gray line dividing the two parts. So there's
Yep.
there's the entrance in which you initially just see the city, the drawbridge, the canals and the towers with the gates. But then you see the overview of the city, and then you see what are basically the buildings, you see the people, and then you see the paths and roads that people take around it.
Yeah.
You see the noises, you see the sights, and
Oh, very good. I mean, like you illustrate the noises as well. See, I think like everyone see a different detail. Everyone see a very different point of perspective. Yeah.
yeah,
And
basically it's all surrounded within the sand dunes, and
yeah.
that is immensely part of the city. A city is based in its context as well.
Yep. Okay, nice. Thank you, Kamal. I mean, am I pronouncing your name correctly? I mean, I'm just
People usually call me Karif, okay?
okay.
I don't
Sorry.
really call myself.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Like because like
No worries, man. It's
yeah.
like your first time meeting me.
Yeah. So I think let's have like Gary. Like Gary, can you speak a little bit on your drawings? Oh, you don't have a mic. Okay, sure. Okay, one more person. Okay, just
I
fine.
can speak for him. We have the same voice, right?
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
yeah.
No, we can move on. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
But I think let's see. Yong Hui, like this one, like one final one because we are at 9 o'clock now. Yong Hui, this one, is it correct? The name Yong Hui.
Yeah, yes.
Hi, nice to
Hi.
meet you.
Hello.
I can't zoom in. It's very lag on my screen.
So I just draw whatever I heard when you read
Yep.
the paragraph.
Yep.
So it's like the city. I feels like it's above the mountain, so I drew it up there, and then surrounded the towers is like the all the houses,
Yeah.
100 houses and chimneys,
Yeah.
and then the people said they saw females by going to the market.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the market, and there's the all the females and the soldiers with trumpets.
All right.
Yeah, and there's the soldiers' trumpets.
Okay.
I just draw whatever I heard, something like that.
It's good. Yeah, it's good. It's a reciting, right? Yeah. So yeah, it's fine. Like I mean, you see, like if you look at overall, everyone have different perspective on things. One even like join the drawings together. Yeah. So we have even this like a few towers, like very figurative as well. And then we have this axonometric. Yeah, I can go over time. I don't know, like maybe Is this Priscilla's one? Is this like the 3D?
No.
Yeah, Priscilla. Like, what is this? Interesting though.
No, it's not mine. My cursor was just there. It's not mine though.
Okay. Oh, it's fine then. Like, okay, we are at 9 now. Maybe we can have another white triangle. Wow. Who is white triangle? I need no black triangle. Okay. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, guys, it's 9 now. I think our session is kind of ended. Maybe we can have another session, maybe in Discord, probably if you guys there. But okay, let me just before I end, right, I can show you some of my work before I end. So so this, I mean, you guys can visit, but strictly I think you guys should really practice the way you interpret stuff. But like looking at people's works is just a point of reference, all right? Like, but you understand like why people are doing this and why I'm doing sort of drawings. It's lagging. Very good. Okay. Oh, what is going on? Yeah. So basically, you can let me show you just what one my master's work. So basically, like I mean, I'm exploring all kinds of genre in my thesis to sort of let people to sort of investigate what is going on with the thing I'm doing, because the thing that I'm doing is more likely about ask people to think, because right now we have all these devices that just feed us instantly, like Telegram, like Pinterest, like pictorial without any details, like, but this project is advocating the idea of like the society are becoming more stupid already, and then like then we have to need a kind of a solution to make them to rethink how they think about things, like just what we did today actually just now. So basically it is like creating all kinds of artifacts to let them reinterpret the ideas behind it. Yeah. So basically, I'm creating a wall, like an installation, instead of a architecture project, but it's a wall. Since I'm doing a technological base, so it's all kinds of medium that I'm testing, and then all put in a kind of space. But all these are plant buildings, all these are with details, but I just didn't show it. Like for instance, the facade, there's a details of it, but it's always like testing the mediums, like mixing around, like let people investigate. Well, how come there's a jump in mediums? There's a jump in there's a jump in aesthetics. There's a jump in visual culture, and also mapping as well. So in a way, my final become another embodiment of the whole setup, the one-to-one physical installation as well. Yeah, so people who can go in there and then to investigate what's the story behind. Yeah. So that's it. This is all of my work. And if you guys are interested, you can keep in touch with me. And then I have more to talk about, especially, yeah. So yeah, I mean, like, thank you for participating though. And I hope you guys really enjoyed it. And yeah, and good luck with your finals, especially. And also keep doing exercise on like drawing expression, expressing your drawings as well. Like what you guys did is very good practice. Instead of looking a lot of references and try to mimic it, but you guys are trying hard to actually make your own interpretation. It's very good, I think. Yeah. So thank you, everyone. Yeah. And also, like, we have cinema screening now, like in Discord. Like, you can just hop into our Discord as well. We'll be watching like World Apartment Horror. Yeah, it's a Japanese horror show in 90s. Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys.
Right, thank you very much, Jowin, for taking the time off to share this very wonderful session, very interesting interactive session. I think I've never seen anything like this in UCSI, really, to be honest. Usually in UCSI, it's just like people talking and then it's like, talk already and done already. Questions all, and then like sound. But yeah, thank you very much for your time. I think it's a bit like over time already, but I also like to thank everyone who's actually been here to participate with us. Especially those who actually draw a lot. I mean, there's a lot of very interesting drawings over there. And I hope that you guys actually learn a lot of things from here and how you guys can actually use that mindset to actually express your projects in your design and your project later on. I hope you guys can do really well with it. So all the best to you guys as well, especially the diploma students. I think yeah, if you guys have any question, I think you guys can just like straight away ask Joey and the gang in Discord.
Yeah,
And
and
if
Facebook and Telegram as well, all these platforms are all everyone. Yeah.
especially all these thing, I kind of like posted the links and reference in Facebook as well for those who are watching live. So I think if you guys can like just check them out, especially like all these groups and everything, you guys can actually get a lot of resources from them. Yeah, and getting discount, just like have fun, yeah. So yeah, thank you very much for your time. So I think like if there's anything, if you guys like want to look into Jowin's portfolio, you can actually look in jfxa.co. Just type in that and you can actually look into portfolio. I think it's actually in the Facebook posters as well. So yeah, I think that's about it for today. Yeah, thank you very much, Jowin. Thank you very much, everyone.
All right, thank you, everyone. Take care.
Yeah, take care.
Yep.
And have a nice weekend.
Happy Chinese New Year as well.
Oh, yes, happy Chinese New Year for everyone here.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks and bye.
Bye. Bye.
You bye.
Bye.
All right, so yes, for those who are still here, I wonder if the live is still, is the live off already? Yes, I think for the rest of the diploma session, diploma students, right? I think Miss Fatiha actually kind of requested me to show you guys how I did my rendering of my work. So I think I'm just gonna do a bit of sharing session as well, just like a very impromptu one, right, Miss?
Yeah. For diploma student, we're gonna have another session later. That one is gonna be like tutorial how you're gonna do all these kind of works. All right. For the rest, it's up to you. We're gonna use the same link. Whether you want to join, is up to you. It's just what we're gonna do today. What Edwin gonna show is software SketchUp and Viria.
Yeah, so SketchUp and Viria and Photoshop.
So at least you have the overview how you can express your ideas through this kind of software. All right. So we're gonna continue this session, Edwin.
Yeah.
Straight away.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys need a rest, we can do like a 5-minute rest. And we can start at like 9:15 like that.
Yeah, can.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Thank you, Edwin.
Sure. Wait, what happened now?